What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of TSR Live, presented by Happy Hippo Herbals, home of the highest quality kratom on the planet. If you're looking for a caffeine-free energy boost with laser-focused and an enhanced mood for hours, visit happyhippoherbals.com today and save 25% when you pay with Bitcoin. That is happyhippoherbals.com. So about an hour or so ago, I just got off a podcast with Rollo Tomasi, who brought the pain. So now, here we are an hour later. I'm doing another show Friday nights with my man, Darron Brown. Darron, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's been, a few weeks, but, life is good and, just working hard, keeping at it,
Word good.
Hey,
how was your holiday?
it was awesome, man. I stayed and I didn't go home to California. I stayed in Utah,
Okay.
just hung out with some local friends and their families, but it was a good one.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I had a pretty good holiday myself. Flew down to North Carolina for a few days and was ready to get the fuck up out of there, dude. Like,
Yeah.
listen, man, after I started to get the niggeritis, after eating my Thanksgiving meal, I was like, all right, it's time to get the fuck out of here, man, because I hate North Carolina with a passion. Listen, if you guys are from North Carolina, I mean, listen, I'm not hating on North Carolina. Yeah, I'm hating on it because I do not like that place. That is for sure.
That's kind of like home in general, man, because I know when I go home to California, it's always like, I'm excited for about a day. And then after that, I'm like, all right, too many people in my business. You bossing me around. Leave me the fuck alone. I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. I can't. No. Listen, and the thing is, man, is like I had bad habits in North Carolina, bad people. So I'm like, man.
Yeah. I feel you.
All right, well, let's get into the topic du jour. Listen, man, sexual harassment suits, guys losing their jobs, men in power, et cetera, et cetera. And so the title of the show is, Are Sexual Harassment Claims Inevitable? And can we even talk to women at work anymore, man? Because every time we turn around, I mean, I was just on with Rollo Tomasi, and he said, yeah, I go to the gym for a couple hours. I come back and two more guys are getting popped for sexual harassment. Matt Lauer just got fired. Russell Simmons just got a sexual misconduct charge or whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts in general on this?
Man, it's wild because you reached out to me about this about a week ago. So, I looked into it. I know I heard a little bit about the sexual harassment that was going on. And I know first it was Louis C.K.
Yep.
And then there was Harvey Weinstein. And then I think like after him, it just started to fall apart. Russell Simmons. And then we had and the dude, Matt Lauer, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like and it's crazy. A lot of these cases happened like 20 years ago.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's rough. It's rough if you're a guy, and you have to be careful, and as careful as you can be, because at the end of the day, if somebody says something to you about you, whether it's true or not, you're going down.
That's right, man. Listen, the innocent till proven guilty, the standard of proof in criminal court. Just to drop a little bit of legalese on you guys. In criminal court, the standard of proof is how can I put this? Is beyond all reasonable doubt. Okay. Well, in civil court, the standard of proof is different. The standard of proof is the preponderance of the evidence. So in order to be convicted or to be held responsible for the civil suit, the preponderance of the evidence states that the evidence has to show that you are more likely than not to have committed said a tort, not a victimless crime. I'm not going to get all into the legalese, but the standard in a court of law, you are innocent until proven guilty. But just like you said, Darron, all a woman has to do is say something, and you are guilty till proven innocent. And women don't want to try men in a court of law because they know the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. They actually have to prove their case. However, in the court of public opinion, they don't have to prove shit. All they have to do is say, he touched my ass. It doesn't even have to be true.
Yeah, for real, man. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like it's men in America. It's our fault because there's something encoded in our DNA which makes us want to save women. And when this, the feminist movement started years ago, years ago, it was we wanted women to have their rights. We wanted women to feel safe and comfortable. But then it got exaggerated. It went too far to the left, man, because now our system, it basically protects women's needs a lot more than it protects the man's needs, because for me personally, I had an experience. Mine wasn't a sexual harassment experience, but it was like women at my workplace
Wow.
who would come up to me and ask me, tell me, oh, I'm so horny right now. Like,
What?
tell me, oh, look at my pigtails. They're like handlebars, you know, for like
Wow. Wow.
exactly, man. I had stuff like that. And I had women that would get jealous of other women that would come into my office, you know, and my boss
God.
knew this. My boss was aware of this, you know, saying I had a woman actually get mad at me because I wasn't interested in her.
You see
And
that?
yeah, yeah. You know, she went to my boss and was like, oh, he laughs at me every time I come into the building. So my boss knew it was bullshit. And I just told my boss, like, look, put me at a different building. I don't want to be here anymore. You know? But it's our fault because we created this system. Man, even now today, I mean, we complain about what's going on in society with relationships and then the legal things behind it, but we don't gang up and try to actually create something to fight that back. You know?
No, I agree, and that's why the manosphere was created in the first place. And you know, a lot of times women file sexual harassment suits against guys that don't hit on them. So, like in your situation, a girl comes in the office. Oh yeah, don't you think I'm sexy? You know, my pigtails can be handlebars, and I want to suck your dick. And if you're not checking for her, she gets her feelings hurt. So then she goes and she files that sexual harassment claim.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
behind that butt hurt. That's what that is.
It's a trip, man. You know, it's a lot of people don't know how to create and build a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you dropped a lot of game to guys, and you tell them
Sure
about, you know, how to get a girl outside the workplace, or how to go about it. But guys gotta get out of that fear of approach, man. You know, every girl that you approach, most women that you approach will reject you.
That's right.
But the point of approach is that you want to have a good idea which women are naturally attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? So if you are ever in a position of power like these men that we just named earlier, that you already have an idea which women you can get and which women you can't get. Because a lot of these guys, the thing they have in common is they're not really attractive. Tom Cruise, Will Smith aren't getting hit for sexual harassment cases.
Nope, no, they're not. Tom Cruise ain't getting hit for sexual harassment cases. George Clooney, Chris Hemsworth, and dude, man, I can guarantee you those dudes were fucking the female cameraman and playing grab ass with everybody. Ain't nobody coming after them. They're coming after the ugly guys. And going back to what you said, or the unattractive guys, go back to what you said. Yeah, it is a numbers game. And this is one of the many reasons I tell guys to stay away from fucking your fucking coworkers. Stay away from hitting on, because a lot of relationships, Darron, a lot of people are afraid to go out and talk to someone who's a stranger to try to hit on them. Like, they don't want to game strangers. People constantly date their coworkers, man. And you can get away with it sometimes, but it's either going to end one of two ways. It's either going to end in a sexual harassment suit, or one of you is going to get fired, or one of you's got to go. Because when that relationship comes to an end, and it's going to be awkward. Like, what, you want to see your ex-girlfriend there, fucking Joe from accounting, now that you guys are broken up? Give me a break.
Yeah, even ourselves, like say we're in charge of it, we're running a business, and then we're at the top level, and then we hear some of our employees, a guy that works there, is being accused of sexual harassment. I mean, we have to address that. We might even have to fire that guy, even if he didn't do it, because if we do not address it, then there's a lawsuit. Exactly.
And there's a lawsuit. Yep, that's exactly right. And women also use sexual harassment suits as a how can I put this? They use it as a sexual attractiveness marker, because in a woman's mind, if another woman is being sexually harassed at work, then people around her automatically assumes that she is attractive, because a man was so sexually attracted to you that he broke a company law or broke the law to try to get with you. Look at me. I'm so sexually attractive that Matt in shipping couldn't help himself. He had to hit on me. He had to grab my ass. And now look at poor innocent me. It has nothing to do with the suit. They prance around the office and act all hurt and everything. No. Part of the reason you did that was to sort of signal to everyone that you are sexually attractive as a female.
Yeah, make herself feel better. You know, back to my story, what I was saying earlier. I actually asked my boss. I was like, "Hey, can I take this woman to HR and then get at her about harassment?"
Oh,
shit.
She said no.
She said no. She said don't. She said don't do it, because you as a man, if you already get a job anywhere else, that they can look into it, and if it has anything that's related to harassment, it makes me look bad. And I reached out to a family friend. She owns a physical therapy clinic back in California, and I asked her about it as well. And she's older. She said the same thing. She's like, "No, Darron, don't even, just let it go. don't speak to her, go to another spot, because if that's on your record, people won't even look at the details of it.
Nope.
It's just you won't get hired. So I'm just like, we're not protected in this society, this system, man.
Yeah, I think it's all. I would submit to you that it's also a money play. It's a trend, right? Like we're seeing, like one thing leads to another. Hashtag Me Too, blah 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 blah. You know, they're jumping on this bandwagon not only because every other woman is doing it, but because it's a payday. Do you think it's a money grab thing too? Because that's what I think. I think it's a money grab, especially when they accuse celebrities.
Money is a part of it a little bit.
Okay,
but I'm gonna go a little step further. I think it's attention. I know that you touched base on social media. You touched base on social media a little bit last week, right?
Okay.
And I think that, you know, most women use, you know, things like Snapchat and Instagram for attention, you know, and then since now we have a lot of the sexual harassment thing that's going on in the media, a lot of women are coming out because they want attention,
right?
You know, they want that spotlight, and I think that has a lot more to do with it than money, because a lot of these women aren't getting money. If they wanted money, they can handle it under. Because I looked at Harvey Weinstein; he paid off a lot of women.
Oh wow, yeah.
That he's sexually harassed. You know, so I think now it's kind of getting you know, out of hand because women just want acknowledgement.
Yeah, they want acknowledgement, and I would agree with you in that regard. I think that money and attention are two of the great motivators for women in terms of publicly accusing men of power, men who have substantial net worth, men who have substantial celebrity influence of sexual harassment. It is absolutely, listen, women value a lot of things. They value money, they value security, but attention is way up there. And Armand Rice says attention whoring is at an all-time high, and I could not agree more.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's not going anywhere either. You know, the society, the way we're living right now, there's less face-to-face interaction. There's more interaction on these phones. So, you know, the more likes, the more followers you have. That's what women like, man. I mean, that's just how it is right now, you know?
So let's ask this question. Is it possible, because listen, I'm fortunate enough, I don't have to work a 9 to 5, right? Like I can do this full time, and you know, I sexually harass my girl all day. She's not going to tell anybody, at least not that I know of. But when it comes down to it, what are a few things that men can do? I mean, I've got my suggestions. I'll start with you. What do you do to avoid a sexual harassment suit? I mean, you have to work with women. So what do you do in certain situations? What are some measures that guys can take?
When you're speaking to a woman in the workplace, make sure there's people around.
Yes.
Preferably a guy, but if it is another female, just make sure you have a close relationship with that female. Because if anything is stated that you did harass her, you can have somebody else that can vouch for you, be like, oh no, actually this happened. I think that that's the most powerful place. And you can go another step forward, which one of my coworkers actually does. He has like a recorder on his phone, and he just like records what goes on in conversations.
Good.
So those are the main two things I believe that men can do to prevent, you know, sexual harassment cases.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Short of being a hermit and just sort of keeping to yourself, you know, and listen, if you keep to yourself, now you're the creepy guy. And if you ever talk to a woman at work about something that's not work and you're the creepy guy, guess what? You're going to get a summons from HR. That's just how it works. If the hot guy approaches Heather and says, hey, you want to do lunch today? Oh my God, sure. But then if creepy Corey goes up and says, hey, you want to do lunch today? And yeah, he's going to be out of a job. That's how it works. I also learned today on my other podcast with Rolla Tomasi that Mike Pence, the vice president of our United States, he has an open door policy. What he does, like what his policy is that he will never have anyone in his office with the door closed, number one. Number two, if he goes to dinner with someone other than his wife, he always makes sure that there are at least 2 other people there. And that just goes to what you just said about the workplace, is make sure there are witnesses, because if it's your word against hers, they're going to take her word 10 times out of 10. Okay. The burden of proof should be on the accuser. Okay. When a woman says he did XYZ to me, well, then in the court of law, they're going to say, well, the burden of proof is on you. That's not the way it is now. These cases are tried in the court of public opinion, and in the court of public opinion, we're guilty, so proven innocent. So even though we didn't bring this to ourselves, we have to prove our innocence rather than them proving our guilt.
And then also, I mean, guys, you have an idea what your attraction level is. You know what I'm saying? You know if you're a good looking guy and if you're not a good looking guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't use the workplace as a place for like to hunt for women. Because I do know a lot of men do that. A lot of men do that. You know, that's where they're at. Like you said, you don't have to work a 9 to 5, but a lot of people do. And that's the only place where their friends are at, and that's where the women that they, you know, that they usually interact with are at. But you have to challenge yourself or pick a day out of the week where you can actually have time for you, where you can actually meet other types of women, man. Because you're only setting yourself up for failure down the road.
No, I agree. Another measure that a man can take to avoid sexual harassment charges is just what you said. Stay away from fucking your coworkers. Stay away from dating coworkers, man. Everybody, and listen, I've done it before. I fucked my coworkers. I've dated coworkers. Dude, I met my wife at work, my ex-wife. I met her at work, right?
Yeah.
This was back in, this is back in 2002. All right. So I was fortunate in that regard. And a lot of guys only like to hit on women that they work with because it's easy. You're around them all the time. You don't have to overcome the initial shit test that comes with a stranger approaching another stranger, right? Like you work with the girl, you can sort of build rapport with her. Nah, don't be a bitch. Don't be lazy. All right. Don't hit on your coworkers because, and listen, a lot of guys are afraid to work with women. Okay. I mean, I've heard like Rollo was just talking about, there are a lot of guys out there who work with women and they turn down lucrative projects, lucrative assignments because they're going to be working with a woman. It could possibly advance their career, but the risk outweighs the reward.
I agree, man. You know, you got to be cautious also that people in the workplace, they put on the mask.
Yep.
Now, at least I know for myself, I'm not 100% authentic. I have my my boundaries. You know, I let people know when they're crossing them, but I wear a mask when I'm at work. And a lot of women, they're just friendly in the workplace because it's a safe environment. They want to make everybody feel comfortable. But I do know some guys who've gotten caught up with that. I know guys who never had girlfriends, were virgins, and then they got close to a girl in the workplace, and then the girl saw that they got close, and the girl abused it. A girl had a guy paying her bills, doing all kinds of stuff, and when the guy stopped paying her bills,
guess
harassment.
Boom,
harassment.
there was.
Yeah, you know? So,
unbelievable, man.
So don't set yourself up, man. You know.
You got to stay away from that stuff. You got to use common sense. Turbattle says chicks be brag-plaining. I agree. When they complain, when they make a sexual harassment complaint, they are essentially bragging that they are so sexually attractive that a man just has to break the law, or break at least the workplace laws. What about same-sex sexual harassment? Because listen, and this is the funny thing, man. This is and same-sex sexual harassment, I don't think carries as much weight. I think if a man accuses another man of sexual harassment, I think HR views it as, okay, well, the man can't be sexually harassed. If a woman sexually harasses another woman, they'll say, well, a woman can't really sexually harass. That's my view on that. What are your views on same-sex sexual harassment?
I'm not sure, man, because I looked up the Kevin Spacey situation, the guy that's with the House of Cards.
Yeah.
And I was unaware that he was even gay. But I guess he has a few of his accusers are coming out. But as far as in the workplace, man, I would handle it the same way that I handle it with women. I would just stay away from people that I worked with in general. You know, people. The problem is that as a man, is that people are less sensitive to like your needs and your comfort. That's really the main issue. But if guys two guys happen to be gay, and the case is kind of like it's something that has to be addressed, and it's like, you know, it's aggressive, then my guess is they'll take it a lot more serious. But
of course. If a man is the accuser, if a man is the accused, they take it seriously. If a man is the accuser, maybe not so much, whether it's a man or a woman. And listen, we can call it a double standard. It sucks, but this is how it is. This is how it has to go. There was one other comment that I wanted to see in here. Oh, Beast Ninja 007 says, gonna see post-wall women writing, where have all the real men gone who appreciated being felt up in the workplace once the dominoes start falling the other way? I agree, man. This whole, and first it's street harassment, right? You found out about all these street harassment statutes. You can't go up and talk to women on the street. Now you can't talk to women at work. Listen, at some point, and it's already happening, guys are not gonna talk to fucking chicks anymore. And this is the thing, man. Then you wonder why inventions like sex robots are coming about. Dude, it is becoming a mathematical financial risk to even commingle with a woman, to even converse with a woman. This is where we're going. It's going to be against the law to even talk to a woman.
And if it even gets to that point, I mean, honestly, women are not going to be happy if guys aren't hitting on them on the road. You know, if guys, you know, they say the workplace stuff, it stops, or all the touching, the fondling, the checking them out, women won't be happy. You know what I'm saying? It's a trip, man, because, you know, for me personally, you've probably experienced this as well because you're a big guy. We're about the same size.
Yeah.
And I've had women grab my arms.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
all the time. I don't
arms,
ever think anything of it, man.
give me a hug and then rub their face deep in my stomach and touch my abs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Women have a lot more body parts that they can touch compared to guys. The thing is that most men don't complain. Girls complain because women like to get felt up, but they like to get felt up by guys they're attracted to.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And it just so happens in this culture, women have a higher standard than guys have of women. Women have a higher standard for men than men have a standard for women. Like you even see it in the modeling. We have like big models, you know, like overweight models now, but we don't have overweight male models. We don't have you know, so the standard for us is a lot higher in society in general.
Yeah, the standard for men is a lot higher because of the abundance mentality. It's supply and demand. The more of anything something is available to any party of people, the less value they put on it. So the more men that, and women have men available all the time. So they don't put as much value in just the run of the mill men. They can afford to be selective because it's easy for women to get laid. Well, men, we don't get the luxury of being quite as selective. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh yeah, I'll go out and bang fat chicks. No. But what you said is absolutely true. In terms of aesthetic beauty, aesthetic fitness, we're gonna be less selective because even guys like you and me, it's not easy to get laid, man. It's just not. Even at the height of my power level playerhood, it was still a challenge for me to get laid because I'm a guy. My game could be airtight, and I could be talking to a chick for whatever reason, she could just bow out. That doesn't happen with girls. If a girl wants to get dick, she's gonna get dick. If a guy wants to get dick, he has to work a lot harder. And for that reason, that's why women's standards are higher, because it's more available to them.
It is, you know, with the workplace, because just relating back to the stories that I told regarding myself, what the workplace provides is social proof.
That's right.
When you have social proof, exactly, other females are talking about you in the workplace, it makes you more desirable. But back to what you said, it's hard for both of us. You know what I'm saying? I get rejected by most women. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it has to do with the fact that they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these celebrities, they feel like they're known. So they feel like they can actually, you know, be more risky or be more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, most of them have been paid off or whatnot, whatever. But that's, I mean, social proof is like the main determinant right now.
No, I agree.
One of the biggest factors.
Yes. And you make a very good point. Social proof I couldn't have put it any better myself. When you're talking to a woman who is a stranger, you don't know her and she doesn't know you, social proof is what you're trying to get over. Okay. At the workplace, that's not an issue. And social proof is a hard thing to get over, especially if you don't have that already. This is why most guys fall into trying to fuck with women they work with, because they're already over the biggest hurdle that they can find. D. Anderson says they also like to call you a work husband. I've heard of these scenarios where women and men work together. They don't fuck. People think there's something going on. They're called work. They're a work couple, work husband and wife. They're always at work together. They come to work together. They're always having coffee. They go to lunch together. They flirt back and forth. What are your thoughts on the work husband and work wife, even though they could be married outside of work?
Well, if you are a work husband and work wife, and you aren't actually in a physical relationship outside the workplace, I wouldn't let that fly. You know what I'm saying? Because you can easily get comfortable in a relationship like that. You know,
that's right.
See, you don't want women saying, "Oh, we're like family," "Oh, you're like brothers." Anything that's too close in the workplace, I would let her know, be like, "Hey, you know, I like you, but I like you in a professional way. Let's keep things on a professional level." Because once you cross that boundary, it's going to do something to your mind. You're going to think that, "Oh, wow, this girl, she thinks I'm cool. She actually liked me. Maybe we can do something."
Right.
And because of the way society works today, it's too dangerous, man. It's too dangerous.
If you get comfortable in a relationship, outside of work, you end up getting burned. She cheats on you, whatever the case may be. You get comfortable in a work relationship, you can really get burned. And not only that, if you get comfortable in a work relationship like your work wife, you think that you can take liberties with her. You think you can maybe smack her ass. You think you can maybe rub up on her, whatever. Hey, we're work husband, work wives. We know each other. We like each other. We're at lunch all the time. She's never going to file a sexual harassment lawsuit against me or a sexual harassment claim against me because I'm her work husband. Like, I'm cool. Like, nah, don't get it twisted. Bitches can and will turn on you for no reason at all.
Exactly. Even some of my coworkers, you know, if we're like a bunch of the guys, we're all talking about, you know, just sex capades and just dirty shit. You know what I'm saying? Whenever a woman comes in the room, I always check my shit. But some of them, they don't know how to check their shit. They think, oh, she's cool, man. We've been saying this, and the girl will be cool, but you never know. You never know what's going on in her life, and then one day she just come to work. You say the wrong thing. You say the wrong thing, and it's lights out.
Lewis Key says, as I walked into work 5 minutes ago, we were just notified in briefing that someone has filed sexual harassment. I mean, like, dude, it's like women know, man. Women know that they have the ace of spades. They know. I'll never forget this, man. This is before this even became like an epidemic. I remember this. I'll never get her name. Her name was Desiree, and it was a call center that I worked with down in Vegas. And dude, she was feeling, and you know, I ended up fucking her. But like early on, and this was me fucking my coworkers. But you have a little bit more leeway in a call center because it's a call center. Like the turnover is all the time, so you can say Donovan touched my ass. They're gonna be like, get your ass back on the fucking phone. Donovan touches everybody's ass, and he's our top salesperson. So get out of here. That's the only. I think that call centers are probably. If ever there was a workplace that was a little bit more liberal about it, because at call centers everybody's fucking everybody. Like that's just how it is, and you don't get to fucking without sexually harassing people. But anyway, I remember this one girl. Her name was Desiree. She says, I could end your career right now if I wanted to. And I said, yeah, you're right, but this ain't a career of mine. And right then and there, it said to me that women know that they have the power to fuck up a man's paycheck if they get up on the wrong side of the bed, or if you do or say something sideways they don't like it, they feel some type of way. That's it.
Yeah, true, man. You know, the thing is that people don't understand there's a major difference between flirting or being just interested in somebody and sexually harassing somebody.
Right.
And in the workplace, they really can't tell that difference, you know, because I honestly, personally, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with being attracted to a coworker, letting them know you're attracted, and then trying to take them out for coffee or something. There's nothing wrong with that. But you just have to understand the risks that come with that. Because just because you ask her that and she says no, in her mind, you never know what she's thinking. She could be spiteful or she could be crazy. And she could think, oh, wow.
I feel sexually violated. He asked me out for a latte this morning.
Exactly. You know, it can get out of hand. You can end up losing your job, something you worked your whole life for. You went to school for this shit. You got to pay bills. And now because of this, you know, it sucks, man. It's sad. There are guys, because a lot of the cases that I've been reading about in Hollywood, I think that they're justified. A lot of the cases, not all of them, but it's just, you know, in the world we live in right now, it's just, you have to be cautious as a guy, man.
Guys, you are listening to TSR Live with Donovan Sharp with special guest Darron Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at I am Darron Brown. The ladies champion. Tell us a little bit about the ladies champion, man.
Well, the ladies champion, man. I'm glad you asked me about that. Well, it's basically a self-improvement social media application.
Okay.
And I designed this application because about 2 years back, I was actually writing a blog, a self-improvement blog specifically for men. And the way it worked, guys would just send me emails about their relationship issues, and then based off my own personal experiences and books that I've read and things that I've actually went out and tested, I would give them advice along those lines. Well, it got to the point I was getting a lot of emails, and then I figured, I was like, you know, there has to be a better way of doing this. So I was like, you know, I might tell somebody the right thing to do will be just because it's coming from a certain person, they might not be open to that information. So I wanted to create a community where not only men who are trying to improve themselves can go to, you know, coaches can also go there and build their brand. So I wanted, one of the biggest issues with coaches is that they want to, they have newsletters and they want to get subscribers. They want to get their email list up. So I was trying to make that whole process a lot easier, and at the same time help those coaches sell their ebooks or just put their name out there and build their personal brand. And then one of the things that I noticed about with the Ladies Champion blog is that more women came at the end of the day. More women checked it out. I don't know why, but more women looked into it. And then I saw that it was actually an atmosphere that women actually women compared to men, they're more open. I see the same thing with martial arts. Women are more open to advice as far as like just self-improvement in general, because most self-improvement books are purchased by women.
Right.
And what I noticed in martial arts is that with boxing, when you get men already think they know how to fight. So for the most part, it's harder to get guys in a real open mindset to be open enough to receive that information. Women already come with more of an open mindset, you know. So that's one thing that I noticed when I was putting this thing together.
Good, very good. When does it launch? Like, is it when's it going to be available?
It's man, you know, it's on a time span because actually I'm a front end developer.
Okay.
And I actually had a back end developer that I was working with that was helping taking care of you know, just the back end stuff that makes sure that the functionality works. The problem is with these applications is that code has to consistently be updated because the program, the process, the JavaScript and whatnot, those systems are always consistently upgraded. So you have to upgrade that coding. And then also there's a cost as far as server space.
Right.
So server space, so you have a lot of users, you have a lot of information, things like an exchange. You have to make sure that you have the money to basically keep that up and going. So it's just the process of me getting that organized and then managing that the right way, because I can get the application up and going, but if it's like if I don't have the money behind it to keep it up, then it's a waste of money, waste of cash.
Yeah, waste of cash and time. And
exactly.
I mean, you're a young guy, but I mean, the older I get, the more valuable the commodity of time becomes. Well, listen, I mean, I would definitely stay tuned for that. I think the idea, I think it's a great concept, and I think that a lot of men and women could probably benefit from that. So as we round for third and head for home here on tonight's show, shout out to Eric P. With the $10 super chat, says, "What's up, Darron and Darron? Donovan and Darron." Good Lord. Dude, I've done so many fucking shows this week. I've got dyslexia. Says, "Excellent discussion, fellas. I couldn't agree more. Good luck, Donovan, against the Seahawks. The Eagles are 5-point favorites. I'm picking the Eagles to cover the spread. God damn." Okay. Well, that is the first. That's the first I've heard of the spread. Appreciate the shout out there, Eric P.
Hey Donovan, man, you know I checked out one of your Patreon videos. That was fucking hilarious.
The last one,
the makeup one. Oh my god,
love that shit. Love that shit.
I paid the 99 cents, and I was on Instagram just like catching pictures and then just put it in there. Like,
that is the ultimate way to fucking check a bitch. Like, I get in Facebook wars all the time, and step number one is like, hey, look, I got a daily show. It's live. Come on and debate me so I can see that you're not an internet gangster, right? They never say, no, I don't want to be on with you. All right, bet. So I go to her Facebook page. I take maybe 3 of her pictures. I say, all right, I'm going to end it like this. This is what you look like without makeup. It shuts them the fuck up every single time. And then whenever she sees you chatting another shit, she doesn't fuck with you because she knows you've got those pictures. Listen, subscribe to Donovan's Den if you guys want the inside on how to fucking check a bitch online. A lot of these fucking big bitches are overconfident with all this makeup on. You get that makeup and you're good to go. Boom, you're out.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Definitely, guys. If you want some real game, you want some hardcore truth, you gotta get a Patreon. You gotta subscribe, man, because it's the shit is real and it's funny, man.
I love it, man. I fucking love it. One last question here before we end this thing. Do you think it's going to change in the workplace? Do you think there's a possibility that that men and women, because I've got a show coming up and it's going to be, I've got a show that's going to drop in, I don't have my calendar, but it's about 2 weeks from now. 3 reasons why men and women shouldn't work together. All right. And so obviously the number one reason, let's go ahead and give it away. Spoiler alert, sexual harassment claims. But do you think that there will ever get to a point where women and men can work together without women having this hair trigger mentality to throw some guy under the bus because she's feeling some type of way? Or is it going to be like that? I mean, or is it going to change when you and I are 6 feet under, we'll be long since forgotten. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Sexual attraction in the workplace will never change.
Right.
That will always be there. The more time you spend with people, there's qualities and things about them that will naturally attract you to that person. But as far as like the legally, I do believe things will change, but things will not change until men start standing up for themselves. It goes down to dating as well. I mean, we talk about why the nice guys finish last, and nice guys finish last because they put a woman's needs before their own. They don't stand up for themselves. And in the workplace, men just have to call attention. Men have to bond together. But look it, I understand sexual harassment does happen in the workplace, but not always. You know, and there
Right.
needs to be a system that supports me and supports my needs. And also, you can say the same thing for the legally. For like, there was a point in time where men, after a divorce, they got the children. You know, and then women, they fought for that. But now the women are promised to get the children. Men need to fight back and say the children should go to the best parent. Which parent is the most mentally healthy and financially capable of taking care of this child? That's that. You know, until men really step up and they really they start catering to a woman's needs, then things will change in society. But until then, I advise don't get married. You know,
I agree
please
with
get
you,
some
man.
more.
I think that feminism is obviously, it's ruined this country, and we can all down women and, oh, fuck bitches and this, that, and the other, blah 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 blah. But guess what? Yes, women are responsible for feminism, but feminism wouldn't be anywhere near what it is today without men. All right, women can't do anything without men, including ruining the lives of men. Without a man in power, these sexual harassment claims would have no legs, because most men are going to cape up for, I mean, this is just how it is. Women get custody 85% of the time, regardless of what kind of parent she is because of men. Like, we are partially responsible for this. So I agree with you. I don't think things are going to change until we as men stand up and say, you know what? We need to come up with a system in place that looks out for us. We need to understand that women have nefarious intentions when it comes to sexual harassment claims. Like, we need to start looking at the proof. Maybe we need to put more cameras in the office. Maybe everybody needs to be mic'd up. You know what I'm saying?
And it comes down to, I think we're doing a good thing, like you said, with the manosphere. You know, if the manosphere, as it continues to grow, there's more money put into the manosphere, and then once you have more money in the manosphere, you can actually you can invest that money into, like, government type of like functions, or type of like elections, and then we have government, some kind of control, and then our needs and laws will be changed to suit what we want. But it'll take some time. I think the shows like this are helping.
I'm going to end the show with this. Beast Ninja 007, a woman is just a woman. A simp is a man turned into a weapon. I could not agree more. Good shit, man. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. Darron, I appreciate you coming on with me today. Hopefully we can do this again next Friday. I'll come up with a topic episode on Monday. I'll shoot it over to you, and if you can make some time for us, that'd be great. Again, guys, follow Darron Brown on Twitter at I am Darron Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at Donovan_Sharp. Until Monday, I'll see you guys then.
Cool. Peace.